Form A. Front of truck and engine compartment number 1. Clearance lights properly mounted, not bent, broken, cracked, should be amber in color and working properly at all times. Number 2. Front headlights are not missing, properly mounted, not bent, broken, cracked, high beams and low beams. Turn signals left and right and four-way flashers should be amber in color and working properly at all times. Number 3. Underneath truck, check for leaks, wires or hoses hanging. Number 4. Coolant reservoir, properly mounted, not bent, broken, cracked, not leaking and at the proper level. Cap is always tight and secured, hoses not abrasions, bubbles, cuts. Not leaking and clamps are secured on both ends of the hoses. Number 5. Water pump belt driven, properly mounted, not bent, broken, cracked, not leaking. Belt should be in good condition. Have no more than 3/4 inch of play. Number 6. Alternator belt driven, no more than 3/4 inch of play, properly mounted, not abrasions, bubbles, cuts, no missing bolts or parts, no loose wires. Not illegal tape or frayed. Number 7. Oil dipstick, check oil proper level at all times. Oil cap is always tight and secured, properly mounted, not bent, broken, cracked, not leaking. Number 8. Power steering reservoir properly mounted, not bent, broken, cracked, not leaking, oil at the proper level. Cap tight and secured. Hoses not abrasions, bubbles, cuts, not leaking and clamps secured on both ends. Number 9. Power steering pump connected to the air compressor and air compressor is gear driven. Properly mounted, not bent, broken, cracked, not leaking. Number 10. Steering shaft no more than 2 inch of play. U-joints lubricated on both ends, properly mounted, not bent, broken, cracked. Number 11. Steering gearbox and hoses, properly mounted, not bent, broken, cracked, not leaking or blots. Hoses not abrasions, bubbles, cuts, no leaking and clamps are secured on both ends of the hose. Number 12. Steering linkage, pitman arm, drag link, steering knuckles, and tie rod ends are properly mounted, not bent, broken, cracked, secured. Castle nuts and cotter pins no missing. Number 13. Spring mounts, properly weld to frame, not bent, broken, cracked, not missing bolts. Number 14. Leaf spring, not shifted. Properly mounted, not bent, broken, cracked, secured with U-bolts and spacers. Number 15. U-bolts secured to axle. Properly mounted, not bent, broken, cracked and no missing bolts. Number 16. Shock absorber properly mounted, not bent, broken, cracked, not leaking hydraulic fluid. Number 17. Brake hoses and airlines, properly mounted, not abrasions, bubbles, cuts, not leaking and clamps are secured on both ends. Number 18. Brake chamber and clamps properly mounted, not bent, broken, cracked and not leaking. Number 19. Slack adjuster, properly mounted, not bent, broken, cracked. Number 20. Push rod, secured with slack adjust, pin and cotton key not missing and no more than 1 inch of free play when brakes are released. Properly mounted, not bent, broken, cracked. Number 21. Brake drum, properly mounted, not bent, broken, cracked, no illegal welds. Number 22. Brake shoes, no more than 1/4 inch of thickness, properly mounted, not bent, broken, cracked. Number 23. Brake lining, free from oil, grease, or white powder. Properly mounted, not bent, broken, cracked. Number 24. Front tire, properly inflated 100 psi. I will check air pressure at tire gauge. Evenly worn tread, not nails or screws, not abrasions, bubbles, cuts, not leaking. Depth, not more than 4/32 inch play. Front tires not recap. Valve stem, properly mounted, not bent, broken, cracked, not leaking. Number 25. Rims properly mounted, not bent, broken, cracked, no illegal welds. Lug nuts are present. No missing, no rust trail or shinny treat cause lug nuts are loose. Number 26. Hub seal, properly mounted, not bent, broken, cracked, no missing bolts. not leaking and at the properly oil level.